guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Virgo for, I almost wanted to say September, January 2023. Keep in mind this is general, so take what you feel resonates for you, disregard the rest, and go about your day. Know that no matter what messages come through, it's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make, and the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, this is personal freedom, it's personal power, and my friends, it's something that lies at the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet, so use this power to do wisely. For all my subscribers, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for being here, and it means the world to me that you are. And if you're new to my channel, please, if this resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe, join the journey with me, come to my kitchen more often. I'd love to have you along the ride. So before I get started, I'm also going to ask Spirit to join us. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. I ask them to join us. I ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the most far-reaching, but only, again, for the top shelf, highest good messages of all of us. So I do have here the Mario Duque Messages of Life Oracle. We're going to ask for a little bit of spiritual advice. Just remember, though, no matter what messages come up, it's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make, the steps you take in your world, and how you get your fulfillment that you'd like to see, like I said already. And this is personal power, and this is free will, my friends, so use it wisely. So let's see what messages we have, please. So this one wants to come out for Virgo, please, for January 2023. Again, I want to say September. I don't know if September is significant, other than for some of you it could be your birthdays, but there is something significant with September as well. This one, and let's get one more card. Okay, so one more flipped out, and there's actually a card flipped in, so we're going to take that. So the bottom is step by step. Remember, nothing is just like this. Nothing is in a snap. Everything takes steps. So it says, I have the wisdom to allow time to achieve my goals without judgment and impatience. I live each step of my life filled with love. I let go and stop trying to control everything. The richness of each event or circumstance lies in its creation rather than its result. I therefore live my present moment, this step in my life, to the fullest, knowing that my soul is forever rising higher and higher to embrace the light. You also have welcoming happiness, which says, divine love manifesting in me, through me, and around me attracts all that I need for the greatest benefit of my soul. As I work to increase my inner light, I become the emanation of love and joy. Thus I reap the happiness and beauty of all that I have sown. Hope. I cease to doubt my true nature. I no longer turn my thoughts towards the dark and negative parts inside me, the world of fear. I welcome life and hold on to my faith in God and God's love. I enter into the great school of life steady in the face of all situations, because regardless of the darkness and fear, I know the light will return. There will always be infinite possibilities ahead of me. The inner sense. Today I silence the noise of my mind. I stop listening to my ego and the influence of others. I become aware of what comes from my heart. I listen to my inner voice. I stop doubting myself, and I develop confidence in my inner sense. My inner truth is the divine truth. And the last one we have here is love appears. I do not dwell upon my pain. I stop fighting against the things that have hurt me. I rise up boldly and ask for the understanding that that will free me of my duality. Through my desire to stay in the light of my being, God will send his helping angels so that love and peace will find their way to me. This is a really, really wonderful set of cards already. Just knowing that step by step each day as we take those movements forward into what we'd like to do as we focus on our goals, and what I also heard is changing our mindset, we're going to find a lot more happiness and a lot more love in our world. And this is, again, something that we have the power to do and control over. We may not have the optimal situations around us, but we certainly can find happiness within each day, within small moments. And this also, what I heard is, it's important to keep hope. It is important to keep hope that things are going to get better, but again, not to forget that it's going to take your active free will to do do this, to do those things that are going to make it better, and to go step by step and start listening to your inner self, not to put yourself down, not to question, if you feel something's for you, then it is. You have the Five of Bows here with empowerment, and this is a very phallic symbol. However, this is knowing that you are strong and capable and able to move in the ways that you need to, and this is passionate, this is fire. For some of you, this is sexual, but it feels like to me just a really great reminder to know that, you carry this bow wherever you go. You have, again, the power to do great things and make great accomplishments. So Spirit, can you tell me more about this Five of Bow with empowerment? A lot came out, so I want to show you the way they are. We have the Ten of Stones with home. You have the Seven of Vessels with mourning in the reverse. The Nine of Stones with tradition. The Sun. The King of Pentacles, or the King of Stones with the wolf. And the Queen of Arrows with the swan. Now, I do like to see here there is a lot of earth here, Virgo, so it makes sense that it's kind of showing up in the reading. In the bottom, we have the Ten of Arrows with instruction in the reverse. There's a cycle not completely fully done. What I almost heard was committed as well. It does feel like things are moving more strongly into a much more stable home life for you, and again, for some of you, I heard September. You may have recently moved in September, or there could be something that you're planning a move by September. Because again, they're saying about this. Now, for some of you, you may have an air sign as well, a Gemini, oh my gosh, Libra or Aquarius in your world. But I think that this is also going to be really important, because if we look at this wolf is standing on the frozen water, the frozen snow, right? He's howling at the moon. He's very, very strong and secure in himself. And the swan is swimming away. Now, the swan is staying above the emotions. So is this wolf, but he is grounded with his feet planted firmly, making some noise. Well, here, there's just quiet. And I almost feel like there's quiet contemplation that needs to happen. With this Nine of Stones here being the tradition as well, and the Seven of Vessels and mourning, the mourning is in the reverse, and it may be, for some of us, I feel like we're not letting ourselves mourn, or for some of us, we've been mourning a long time for the loss of some sort of home life or something in our world, and it is time to kind of step out of that, to step out of our grief as much as possible and find new ways of being, to hold on to the hope that things are going to change, and to actively go out in our own empowerment and make those changes for ourselves and make them happen. As well as with this sun, the sun of life, this is also important because we are keeping an open heart, connecting ourselves to source. I also heard getting enough vitamin D might be really, really important for you. And they're showing me with these two cards, the moon is in the background, because we might be spending a lot of time, what I heard is up at night, or especially if you work nights, you're awake but you're sleeping during the day. So for some of you, it may be really helpful to get yourself some vitamin D supplements as well. But overall, what I feel like with this Ten of Stones here, speaking of home, and then you've got the Ten of Instruction, so the Ten of Arrows in the reverse. Underneath that was the Ace of Vessels, again in the reverse. I think that there's probably some lessons to learn, and there has been, for some of you, what I heard is there's been silence, or you feel like you've been silenced. If you've tried to discuss with another person what's gone on, you may not feel like you've necessarily been heard. And with this here, to me, this speaks of healing, and that it's also time to create our own traditions. I'm going to get a little bit more clarity, please. Spirit, tell me about this Nine of Stones with the sun. The Nine of Stones with the sun, please. You have the Forest Lovers here, which could be Gemini, also another air sign, Libra, Aquarius, but often this is associated with Gemini. This could be also marriage and hand fasting with this tradition that for some of you, like, you may be cohabitating, like living with a partner and you're not married, and now you're like, you know what, I would like to do this. I would like to have a commitment ceremony. I'd like to get married. Or for others of you, this is really making choices that go against tradition within how you're building relationships. And as well, what I'm hearing about this is, now not for everyone, but because this is in the reverse, if you've had relationships in the past where you've been gaslit, or somebody refuses to take responsibility or accountability for their actions, this may be something that's kind of stopped the grieving process, because again, you don't feel like you're getting the closure that you need. But I think this is really important when you look at this, to be like, well, what does love mean to me? And this is stuff we really want to question for ourselves. What kind of relationship am I looking for? What kind of qualities am I looking for in the person that I would like to spend my life with, or that I would like to spend the next little while with? You know, however it is, like, does this person, are they stable? You know, are they someone that I know is going to come home every night or whatnot? And, you know, things like that. And I think it's really important, again, with this empowerment, to show up that says, you know what, we need you to be strong, we need you to be stable, we need you to use your voice and to howl at this moon. And we also need you to be able to think clearly and rationally, but also to cut through the bullshit when needed. So with this, again, this tradition, this may be also rethinking marriage, or rethinking a marriage, or this is moving in with someone as well. And again, they say September. Spirit, tell me more about the forest lovers with the 9 of stones. Often the 9 of stones is the 9 of pentacles. It's like you finally need it too. And I think that there's a lot more sense of stability that's surrounding you now than maybe even in the past. And it could be, again, that you're building this up. You are building this stability up. This is where this step-by-step thing comes in. And they're telling me, like, potentially in the past, we've thrown ourselves into relationships really quickly. And there's where Spirit's saying there is nothing wrong with taking it slow. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Because if we move in with someone and then a couple months later we realize this isn't really for me, we are now, I want to say stuck, but you're not stuck. There's always a choice, but you're in a much more precarious position than if you're taking your time and really realizing, you know, the inner quirks of this person, and are we going to be able to live with each other? Is this the right person for me, or am I kind of stuck in this honeymoon kind of stage? So we have a bunch of things here. We have the 4 of Vessels with boredom, or the 4 of Cups, the Queen of Vessels in the reverse with the Salmon, and the Page of Stones with the Lynx in the reverse. I think that for some of you, this is interesting because you have the Queen of Vessels and the Queen of Arrows. So this could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Someone, and again, could be you, we're not following our heart, and we're not making moves into a grounded way. This could be because we're still holding on to something from the past that didn't work. And there's feelings within us and inside of us that are still, you know, not feeling the zest of life. And this is where I think it's important to remember that we need to create those feelings for ourselves, not just having a romantic partner. I feel like, too, some of the stuff that could actually help you heal with this, it is definitely attached to this morning card. Whatever this is, like, it could be joining a gym, going to painting classes or something like that. For some of you, it may be attending church or spiritual church. Just getting out and finding people who like to do similar things. This could be taking a walk, going for a run. And you know, a lot of times people, we're habitual creatures, right? So you may run into the same people in the same place, and eventually you're going to spark up a conversation because you see them all the time, and you might just find what you've been looking for there. I do feel like in this state, there's still a lot of holding on to emotions and really not wanting them to come forth. For what I'm hearing about this as well, the salmon, it's because we've been swimming upstream for a really long time, and some of you just want to break. Some of you may just want to break from love, but it's showing up here. Love appears. For some of you, I definitely do feel like this is romantic. And it could be when you least expect it, because you've been just pouring so much of your energy into you and your healing and your bounce back, that you're feeling, once you finally get to this point of feeling radiant and feeling successful, you are attracting some fairly worthy suitors of you. So the bottom of the deck here is the 3 of Vessels with joy. And that is absolutely beautiful to see this 3 of Cups with joy. This does also talk about, because they're cranes, there could be there could be births, or there could be babies as well. But this is also, to me, birthing new relationships and happiness. So let's see what messages we have. I think this is a major lesson unfolding, and for some of you, you may be a little bit resistant of it because, again, it's headspace. If this is tied to someone else with this 10 of arrows that was in the reverse and how they have made you feel, if you felt power dynamics within the home before that were unequal, or where you felt like someone has had a power over you or tried to have a power over you, this might be something that it's going to take a lot of work mentally to get out of that state of mind. But like I said with this Lovers card here, this is where we get to really choose what is love. What does love look like to me? What kind of qualities do I like? Would I like in a partner? And as well as what Spirit's saying to me is, if you're noticing red flags right off the bat, or someone's like gaslighting you, or they say something and then right away they're like, I didn't say that, really pay attention to this. Make mental checkpoints of it, because you need to learn how to trust yourself and your own instincts again after whatever has happened, okay? So let's see what this card has to say, wherever I did with my book. So you have the European beach, and this is about sustenance. It says, my wood has been used for centuries, and my nuts provide food for animals. I hold on to some of my dead leaves each winter to give myself protection from the worst of the weather, and I will protect and sustain you too if you wish. For some of you, I think this is also speaking of financials, and to hold back a little bit, to save a little bit of your paycheck, to save a little bit of your money every month, so that if something happens at the end of the month or throughout, you have a little cushion and you're not scrambling trying to figure out how you're going to pay for something, or an unexpected costs always show up, right? There's always something we didn't foresee. So it says this is an excellent opportunity to add to your knowledge, of particularly by reading books and listening to the wisdom of others. Let the beauty of the worlds and the depth of the experience you hear about feed your soul. And I'm going to read to you now the inverse. If it was in the reverse, it says, now is not the time to be wasteful. Although you should not worry about having a lack of anything, you should value what you do have and ensure that you don't squander it. Store up your treasure for the future. This could also be to me saving up for some sort of adventure as well. So let's get a message from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle on how to take care of ourselves a little bit better going forward into this next cycle, please. And you have clear your energy field. Here she's burning a sage, smudge. You may want to use Palo Santo. She could also have flowers in here that mean something to us. This could be incense as well that puts out a nice scent. This could be your candle. Sometimes when I use the candle to clear the energy, I ask that the fire burn away anything that's inauthentic, anything that is not for the highest good of my being, or in the house as well, and really connect with that fire energy, which to me again is connecting to the sun energy. So I think as well for some of you, if there's been a lot of changes in your home life, what I also heard for some of you, you may have recently kicked someone out or recently had a falling out, and some of this energy could be kind of trapped in the space around you or in your house. So you want to make sure that you're clearing that out as well. And we have be still here to not underestimate the power of just resting and being still, and also that this is when a lot of these answers are going to come to us. So making sure that what we're doing, we're feeling physically grounded, we're feeling mentally clear. And if you feel like things are moving too fast in any particular relationship or any aspect of your world, remember there's no shame in just being still and having the communication skills to say to the people around us, hey, I need to step back. It's not that I don't want to spend time with you or anything like this, but I'm healing and I really need to just take some time to clear my head. I also heard like some people, they really appreciate that instead of, I'm pretty bad for this too. Sometimes if I need space to just drop out, right? I'm just gone from someone's world. And it is very important, especially for the people that we want to maintain relationships with, we want to maintain contact with. We just need a break to say, hey, I need a breather. So that's the message I really have. I hope that it resonates. I love you all. And one last thing before I go, this clear your energy field also is about the people we hang out with. So if we're hanging out with people who may be a little more negative, this may also be like, well, in order for new energy to come in, we have to make some boundaries. We have to cut some ties, spend less time for those people that we feel are draining us, spend more time with the people that we feel are lifting us up, and get to know ourselves much better, get to a place where we know what our own auric field feels like, we know what our energy feels like. So if there's disruptions in the force, we're aware of them right away. So I hope you guys have a wonderful month. Again, remember that time is fluid, so if this message feels like it's for September for you, it might be for September, but it also may be touching on something that's happened in the past September, or it may have nothing to do with September at all. It's just that that's when your birthday is, yo. So it's a message I have. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.